Good evening and welcome to your Wednesday, October 9, 2024 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. ExxonMobil exploring ways to bring more contracted work to Guyana's shores. ROUTLEDGE reaffirms that ExxonMobil not interested in renegotiating 2016 PSA. President Ali does not need Norton's agreement for top cop appointment, says AG. President Ali touts Innovation Fund, world-class hockey field for St. Stanislaus College, and massive destruction as fire rips through Puruni landing. Now for the news in detail. In addition to the billions of dollars currently being pumped into local content, ExxonMobil Guyana has said it is exploring ways of bringing further business opportunities to local shores. Here is Gerald Bryan with our lead story tonight.
During a press conference at the company's headquarters on Wednesday, ExxonMobil Guyana President Alistair Routledge spoke on the issue of local content. Routledge made it clear that the company is committed to exploring how it can bring more business opportunities to Guyana, including the work it is presently contracting out to foreign companies.
The local content secretariat, that's a key part of the Ministry of Natural Resources with whom we work on a regular basis, almost daily, as we ensure there's clarity on what opportunities we have coming up, what sort of contracts we're letting, the transparency. I talked earlier on about transparency is very important, that it's clear to the government where we're spending money, how we're spending money, how we contract, all of those opportunities, and have discussions about, okay, what of the work that we currently contract to other companies, maybe outside of the country, could ultimately be brought into Guyana. That is where we've identified certain strategic investments like the Vredenhoek shore base.
The oil executive described local content as close to his heart, claiming that even without the Local Content Act of 2021, the company would still have championed the cause.
Local content is a subject that is dear to my heart. I mean, I think it's essential that we do that as part of developing the nation's resource. We recognize that this is Guyana's resource. We want the people not only to benefit from what we pay in royalties and profit share or taxes, but also in the development phase that we are making opportunities available as quickly as we can for people to be employed and for businesses to benefit and grow. So we've seen that partnership with the government be very successful. I think with or without the Act, we were already committed to doing that. As we've talked many times about, it started with creating the Center for Local Business Development.
According to Routledge, the company is also committed to making sure the public is aware of the local content business opportunities. He also acknowledged the fact that the Local Content Act served to create a structured framework for the company to engage with Guyanese businesses on these opportunities. In 2023, it was reported that ExxonMobil spent over US $280 million on local suppliers in the first half of last year. And ExxonMobil's data in its 2023 annual report states that US $641 million was spent on local suppliers for the entirety of the year. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Meanwhile, members of the parliamentary opposition have been campaigning on a promise that they will review the 2016 production sharing agreement. ExxonMobil has poured cold water on any possibility of renegotiating the fiscal terms of the oil contract. Here is Gerald Bryan again with the details.
During a press conference on Wednesday, ExxonMobil Guyana President Alistair Routledge was asked if the company is willing to renegotiate its share of profit and royalty with Guyana. Based on Article 32 of the 2016 Production Sharing Agreement (PSA), the government has to gain permission from the operator in order to renegotiate the terms of the contract. With elections expected next year, the parliamentary opposition has been campaigning that they will review this contract by activating this clause. According to Routledge, however, the company has no interest in invoking Article 32 and entering into renegotiation. He further noted the importance of Guyana maintaining the sanctity of the contract, pointing out that renegotiation would undermine the stability of the investment climate.
We have no interest to invoke that article. As I say, I mean, we've made $55 billion worth of commitment to the country. To go back and to undermine the basis of that investment would seriously challenge any future investments.
According to the oil executive, any change, even an increase in the royalty from the present 2% to 5%, would undermine the basis for the company's investment. Routledge also defended the present terms of the agreement, noting that it was signed at a time when the risk of investment in the Stabroek block was high.
And I think we always need to step back and remember that this agreement's been very successful for Guyana in attracting investment into a basin where nobody had made any discoveries. It de-risked the Suriname drilling because discoveries had been made in Guyana by the Stabroek block co-venturers. And we can always cherry pick, if somebody has higher royalty or lower royalty, pays this tax or that tax. But it's about the total amount of revenue that's generated out of the petroleum agreement that's really important to the country. And if you don't attract sufficient investment, development won't happen, and you won't have the same scale of revenue. So you can have a larger percentage of a small number, or you can have maybe a fair share of a much larger number, and ultimately that's more meaningful for the country. And that's where I think we have to just be careful about, people writing things and wanting to cherry pick certain numbers.
Under the terms of the 2016 PSA signed between ExxonMobil and the then APNU AFC government, Guyana receives 2% in royalty and a 40.5% take from profit oil after cost recovery. The PPPC government has since implemented a new PSA for future projects that increases the royalty to 10%. It also lowered the cost recovery ceiling to 65% from 75% while maintaining the 50-50 profit sharing. Jal O'Brien, The Evening News.
The government's chief legal advisor, Attorney General Anil Nandlal, has argued that President Dr. Irfaan Ali does not need opposition leader Aubrey Norton's agreement for the appointment of the Commissioner of Police or any deputy commissioner. Find out more in this Vanu Manikchand report.
Regarding the appointments of a Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioners, Attorney General Anil Nandlal has explained that the Constitution of Guyana provides for the President to make such appointments after meaningful consultation with the opposition leader and the chairperson of the Police Service Commission, after the chair would have consulted with the other members of the Commission. During his program Issues in the News on Tuesday, Nandlal noted that meaningful consultation is also defined in the Constitution. It states that the person responsible for seeking such consultation shall, quote, identify the persons or entities to be consulted and specify to them in writing the subject of the consultation and an intended date for the decision, end quote. The Constitution further outlines that the person seeking the consultation shall ensure that the person or entity being consulted is afforded a reasonable opportunity to express a considered opinion on the subject. It also states that the person seeking the consultation shall prepare and archive a written record of the consultation. In this regard, Nandlal contended that the Constitution does not require a face-to-face consultation. The head of state had written Norton on September 4, 2024 for a consultation on the appointment of Clifton Hicken as Commissioner of Police and requested a response by September 18, 2024. Norton replied on September 17, objecting to the appointment in a two-page response. The President then responded on October 2, answering all of the concerns raised by Norton.
The President letter is even longer. And the President answered all the questions, all the issues that he raised, paragraph by paragraph. The President's response outlined that Mr. Hicken is the most senior member of the Guyana Police Force and acted for all the number of years. And it went on to answer each and every contention advanced by Mr. Norton.
Meanwhile, the Police Service Commission, Nandlal said, was also consulted. As such, the Attorney General asserts that President Ali has satisfied all the requirements of the Constitution.
The President must engage in meaningful consultation, not get the agreement of. Because there are some appointments in the Constitution which requires the President to secure from the leader of the opposition his agreement. As you heard, as I read just now, this is not one of those appointments. One of those appointments, for example, is the appointment of the Chancellor and the Chief Justice of the country.
Nandlal further contended that any legal action filed by Norton on this matter will be strenuously defended. The Attorney General said similar letters were dispatched by the President on the appointment of Deputy Commissioner of Police, but Norton never responded. Meanwhile, President Ali, when asked about the situation on Tuesday evening, posited that there is no barrier, legally or constitutionally, from appointing Hicken as the substantive top cop. Hicken, who has been acting in the capacity of police commissioner since March 2022, had qualified for retirement in July 2023 after he turned 55, but his tenure was extended by the president.
For years, students at the University of Guyana have expressed the urgent need for better equipped laboratories, particularly in the medical and natural sciences departments. On Tuesday, 2 state-of-the-art facilities were launched, the Molecular Diagnostics Laboratory and the DNA Barcoding Laboratory at the university's Turkine campus. Lawanda McAllister tells us more.
To address challenges in both the educational and health sectors, the University of Guyana, in partnership with the Greater Guyana Initiative, on Tuesday unveiled 2 molecular laboratories, the Medical Diagnostic Laboratory and the DNA Barcoding Laboratory. The labs were officially opened at UG's Turkine campus, bringing cutting-edge technology to students and researchers alike. For years, students have expressed the urgent need for better equipped labs, particularly in the medical and natural sciences departments. With samples having to be sent to international labs for advanced testing, the new facilities represent a significant step forward. Professor Paloma Mohammed Martin, Vice Chancellor of UG, opened the ceremony with remarks that spoke to the broader vision behind the laboratories.
We were very, very concerned that while we had the technical expertise, the impact of not being able to trace, track, identify the strains and the diseases that were in country, including tropical diseases and other diseases, was something that really bothered us. And so the initial conversation about these labs, one of these labs, was really about how could we bring the technical human expertise together with the hardware and the architecture and the infrastructure, so that the university could do this. And not only could we do this for COVID, but for many other things you'll hear about.
The launch of these facilities was long overdue, especially in light of Guyana's growing healthcare and biodiversity needs. The Medical Diagnostic Laboratory will allow for quicker detection of diseases, reducing the dependency on foreign testing services, which often delay diagnosis. Dr. Gayan Priya Maharaj, Director of the Center of Study of Biological Diversity, emphasized the far-reaching implications of the new DNA barcoding laboratories.
This lab will not only contribute to identifying new species and learning about their evolutionary relationships, it will contribute to ecological and conservation research, because we can quickly and accurately identify organisms, we can monitor our ecosystems, and we can assess our biodiversity. This standardized method that's used globally can now ensure that we contribute not just nationally and regionally, but we now contribute on a global scale to studying our biodiversity.
Meanwhile, Martina McKenzie, Assistant Dean of the College of Medical Sciences, emphasized the transformative impact of the new Medical Diagnostic Laboratory, which will train the next generation of researchers and medical professionals, enhancing UG's role as a regional leader in medical research. The launch marks a significant step in UG's commitment to both academic excellence and national development.
President Dr. Irfan Ali has tasked the management of St. Stanislaus College to establish an innovation fund to boost the school's capabilities to lead in the area of science, technology, engineering and mathematics, entrepreneurship, business innovation, and artificial intelligence. Trishelle Sobers reports that the head of state has also touted the development of a world-class hockey field for the school.
The St. Stanislaus College Innovation Fund will allow the school to lead in areas of environment, climate, biodiversity studies, and integrate the low-carbon development strategy into classroom lessons, ensuring that students understand the importance of climate, food, and energy security. President Dr. Irfan Ali explained that government's vision for the school will result in the shaping of tomorrow's leaders, all of whom will be well equipped to tackle global challenges. The head of state was at the time addressing those gathered at the commissioning ceremony for the $51 million refurbished Hubert Fenney Physics and Chemistry Laboratories and Richard Hartford staff room on Tuesday evening. The Guyana government had contributed some $25.45 million to the project.
And what we have to do is identify students who are talented in these areas and who we can, at a very early stage, shape to go on and take leadership in these areas. So to meet these challenges, we need a new generation of graduates, proficient in STEM education. It is not enough to have dreams of progress. You must have the skills and knowledge to build those dreams into reality. And we're better to start than here, within the walls of St. Stanislaus College, where a legacy of excellence already exists. This is something that I've seen in many institutions across the globe. In India, where the concentration is on STEM. In the colleges, out of the Innovation Fund, they have what you call the business development grants. And that is where the Innovation Fund must lead to. So when we have students who can come up with a creative idea here, we must be able to work with them on making that idea viable, bankable, and then taking them through the process of building out that idea so that it can become a growing asset for them.
Meanwhile, Education Minister Priya Manikchand announced that the school will undergo further transformation in 2025. She highlighted that infrastructure works will include the construction of a 3-story building comprising labs and classrooms, as well as a new auditorium, which will be accompanied by a large dining area.
This entire block, stretching all the way to where the building ends, well, the compound ends, will have a 3-story addition to the school, where all of this will be demolished. And classrooms, labs, and staff space will be provided along with other amenities. This auditorium is going to be pushed back so that we have a stage with dressing rooms and a bigger space here. And we're looking to see if we could put a 2nd story here where we could have a dining room, a common area for students. So we feel very confident that if we were to do the physical infrastructure, train your teachers, 100% of your teachers will be trained, retain them, and we got, we know extra training went into the teachers at this school, provide the resources like textbooks and lab equipment, give the grants to parents so that they're easier able to look after their children, that we're going to see coming out of each and every child in this school, Irfan Ali, multiplied by how many hundreds come into your school.
The development of a world-class hockey field at the school was also touted. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Coming up, ERC records over 168 speech infractions for the year so far, and government to invite IPU to observe 2025 elections. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
The oil and gas industry is helping to transform safety standards across all sectors of Guyana. The government and industry leaders are pioneering safer offshore oil production with new legislation, updated policies, and state-of-the-art floating production, storage, and offloading vessels.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe. Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe.
Feeling lucky? With Digicel, you could be one of 4 lucky millionaires. That's right. Digicel is giving away millions. Top up with $1,000 or more, and you will be automatically entered into a draw for a chance to win $1 million weekly. Don't wait. Top up today, and you could be one of Digicel's 4 lucky millionaires. Top up now, and who knows, you might just hit the jackpot with Digicel. Digicel, the network for everyone,
No matter the state of your home, you can make it beautiful for any occasion.
NNS Matai Home Goods Warehouse. Simply better.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. Millions of dollars went up in flames as a fire blazed through Puruni Landing in Region 7, destroying multiple buildings. The blaze consumed the Red Belly Hotel, a restaurant, several vehicles, numerous commodities, and a large volume of fuel. Other buildings were also gutted in the raging inferno. The closest fire service is located in Bartica, a great distance away, and as such, it took ranks hours to respond. In the meantime, persons in the area tried desperately to control the fire. Up to news time, the fire service had not issued any statement on the disaster. We now tell you that over 160 hate speech infractions have been recorded by the Ethnic Relations Commission for the year so far. As we hear in this Kelroy Williams report, the body will be stepping up its monitoring of these violations as national elections approach.
This concerning increase in hate speech infractions was highlighted on Tuesday by Chairman at the Ethnic Relations Commission ERC, Sheikh Moin Al-Haq, during a signing ceremony for a memorandum of understanding between the Commission and the United Nations Development Programme. The MOU provides for the UNDP to offer technical assistance to strengthen ERC's existing methodologies for mapping and countering disinformation and hate speech, and to strengthen its capacities to access social media data. During his presentation at the ceremony, the ERC chairman reveals that the organization's media monitoring unit has noticed a significant increase in hate speech infractions this year so far.
Currently, the ERC's media monitoring unit, we refer to it as the MMU, diligently observes various platforms including television, newspapers, and social media to identify instances of racial and ethnic infractions, commonly referred to as hate speech. From August to December 23, after reactivating our media monitoring unit, we documented 116 infractions. I repeat, August to December 23, 116 infractions. In the first 9 months of this year, 24, we have identified 163 infractions.
Meanwhile, central to the MOU is the launch of an e-monitoring tool that leverages artificial intelligence to track and analyze harmful content across various platforms. Hack said this tool will be instrumental in the fight against hate speech.
The e-monitoring tool will be instrumental in enhancing our capacity to capture a wider reach of content. This innovative, automated system will efficiently identify keywords and phrases that are racially, ethnically offensive, allowing us to respond more swiftly and effectively.
Meanwhile, UNDP resident representative in Guyana and Suriname, Gerardo Noto, highlighted the importance of anti-hate speech measures, particularly as the country gears up for elections.
As we approach the 2025 elections, we must confront the pressing issue of information pollution, a spread of false, misleading, manipulated, and otherwise harmful messages that threatens the integrity of democratic processes globally. In an era where misinformation spreads rapidly, the potential for division and conflict increases. Guyana's diverse society is a treasure, but it is important to keep it safe from manipulation that can make it vulnerable. Information pollution can exacerbate existing tension, in particular hate speech.
Kelroy Williams, The Evening News.
The Inter-Parliamentary Union, a global organization of national parliaments with some 180 members, will be invited to send a team to observe Guyana's general and regional elections next year. Here is Kelroy Williams again with the details.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal has revealed that he will be attending the 149th Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, IPU, which will take place in Geneva, Switzerland on October 13 to 17. There, he will be making representation for the IPU to send a team to observe next year's general and regional elections in Guyana. He made the disclosure during his program Issues in the News.
It's our hope to get a team from the IPU to observe our elections, because the election thieves are still around. They are still here. And trust me, they will try to steal elections. We have to get as many observers as we possibly can.
The IPU facilitates parliamentary diplomacy and empowers parliaments and parliamentarians to promote peace, democracy, and sustainable development around the world. The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM has already engaged representatives from the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and European Union regarding sending observer missions to Guyana for next year's polls. Meanwhile, during the program, Nandlal used the opportunity to respond to misinformation from the opposition camp regarding the official list of electors. The opposition has been calling for a new voters list.
They are misrepresenting what the registration process is. We have a continuous registration process that is ongoing all year round. It will only stop at election to produce a new list. They are calling for a new list. A new list will be produced for the 2025 elections based upon a continuous registration system. So what new list they are calling for? Every election gets a new list one that is produced by GCOM on a continuous registration basis. We have put over 100 amendments in the law to ensure that that list is kept clean, that dead people are removed from it, that those who should not be on the list should not be on the list.
The Evening News previously reported that GCOM is working closely with the General Register Office, GRO, to verify deaths and remove deceased individuals from the official list of electors. Meanwhile, a continuous registration exercise is currently underway and is set to last until November 29. Kelroy Williams, The Evening News.
Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh has assured that the Guyana government is working to have the various state and regulatory institutions keep up with the pace of development in the country. He made this remark at Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference hosted in Georgetown, where he told potential investors that Guyana is a stable and mature environment for business. Vanu Manichand tells us more.
The Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference was hosted by the Jamaican Stock Exchange, bringing together government and business leaders, technocrats, professionals, and investors. The two-day event was held under the theme, Financing for Success, where passion, prosperity, and people align. Speaking at day 2 of the conference, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh spoke about the heavy lifting done by the past People's Progressive Party governments to set the stage for a competitive, diverse, and resilient economy even before oil was found offshore. He also highlighted the vast investment opportunities available for Guyanese and Jamaican businesses.
There have been Jamaican companies in Guyana doing business for a very long time and doing business. There have been Jamaican companies doing business with Guyanese companies for a very long time, so we know each other. And vice versa, there have been Guyanese companies doing business with Jamaican companies for a very long time. But we have a moment now where the opportunities for doing business in Guyana and with Guyanese companies are astronomically more than ever before.
As investors explore business opportunities in Guyana, the finance minister assured of efforts by government to build up institutions here that would ensure good governance with sound and responsible economic management.
We still have a lot of things to resolve. A lot of our institutions are still adapting to the pace at which things are happening in Guyana. But the reality is that things are happening so rapidly that our institutions are also, some of them are also, struggling to adapt. We're committed to fixing those as well, including all of the regulatory agencies that need rapid modernization, the deployment of technology, the introduction of single window solutions to trade transactions, single window solutions to construction permits and so on. There's a whole agenda for digitalization in government that we're deploying, that we're rolling out right now, that will see us leapfrog a lot of the sort of evolutionary changes that we would ordinarily have gone through. But I want you to know and be assured that this is a mature, stable, level-headed and sensible environment that you're investing in.
Only on Tuesday, at the opening of the Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference, the second edition held in Guyana, Chairman of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Stephen Whittingham, called on Guyana to learn from that country's mistakes and avoid falling into the same economic trap that once nearly sank Jamaica. The Guyana government has been adamant in using the monies earned from the burgeoning oil and gas sector to expand, strengthen, and diversify the country's traditional economic sectors, while at the same time enhance livelihoods through infrastructure development and improved healthcare, education, and welfare services. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Thursday, October 10, 2024 at 20 hours 45 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Burbisford Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic at 8 hours 50 on Thursday, October 10, 2024, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Added international flavor for 5th KFC Goodwill Tournament and straight away in the last 5, says Sinclair about CPL final. These stories and more coming up in this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
Hi, my name is Stephen Odip from MV Construction. I'm a rice farmer. I'd like to show you guys my Case 110. I own this tractor for 6 years, and the production, the fuel consumption, and the efficiency this tractor gave off is excellent. I would like to recommend this tractor to all rice farmers because for the application we're doing right now, it's excellent. The 110 horsepower tractor is excellent in the field condition we're doing right now, and the fuel is amazing. So I'd like to recommend this to all rice farmers that are in the rice industry. For the 6 years I own this tractor, the support from MacCorp has been excellent. I had day-to-day support, a lot of physical interactions, people from the company coming down here and inspecting our fields, our applications, and our equipment, and all our stuff are up to date. So I really appreciate MacCorp and the service they provided. Thank you.
MacCorp, let's do the work.
When it comes to power tools, you know very well that Sylvie's Variety Store is your household name in that department. Among the very best in U.S. and European craftsmanship and technology comes the rigid line of DeWalt and Black & Decker power tools. No job is ever too difficult for our collection, including the cordless line for much convenience. So when buying a quality brand like DeWalt or Black & Decker, check Sylvie's Variety Store on High and Hadfield Streets, Georgia.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all check all them wild meat what the man bringing there before y'all pay for it, yeah? It's supposed to be some guana, deer, turtle, labo.
Hey! You get your commercial wildlife license?
I don't catch couple labo. All I gotta catch right now is 2 bush cow and 2 wild hog.
You get your wildlife trapping license? Hello! You got to get your special wildlife license.
If you're a wildlife trapper, vendor, breeder, or collector, ensure you invest in the correct license. Being compliant prevents you from exorbitant fines and allows you to invest with major stakeholders. Persons interested in any form of trade in wildlife should obtain the relevant licensing from the Guyana Wildlife Conservation and Management Commission.
Going on, everything went good? You understand I have to pay 1.5 million in fine.
1.5? Just cause you're not a license? What? That's why y'all should get your license! Why?
Feeling lucky? With Digicel, you could be one of 4 lucky millionaires. That's right, Digicel is giving away millions. Top up with $1,000 or more, and you will be automatically entered into a draw for a chance to win $1 million weekly. Don't wait. Top up today, and you could be one of Digicel's 4 lucky millionaires. Top up now, and who knows, you might just hit the jackpot with Digicel. Digicel, the network for everyone,
Need quality electrical or hardware supplies for domestic, commercial, and industrial usage? Visit SPR Enterprise. We stock a wide variety of tools, transformers, connectors, cables, line hardware, and control products at competitive prices. Check us out for brands such as Square D, Eaton, Fluke, Klein, and 3M. We are located at 45 Brick Dam, Georgetown, or call us on 223-5699, 223-5687, or WhatsApp 639-7193. SPR Enterprise, your single source for quality electrical products.